God is defined as being an immaterial mind, an immaterial consciousness. If this quality or attribute can be shown to be impossible, the Christian God would be duly disproved because the qualities that make up this God are refuted. There are two salient ways the Christian God is disproved. The first way is that the mind is a word that denotes the ability for rational thought, reason, and feelings. As such, it is a function of consciousness. Being a function, it requires that something functions. Therefore, the mind is dependent upon a material entity, namely the brain. This proves that it is impossible for there to be a mind, i.e. consciousness, without a material entity to carry out its functionality, such as the brain/body. What Christians have fallaciously presupposed is similar to someone asking for vehicle locomotion without an engine/car to carry out that locomotive function, or asking for digestion without a stomach, intestines, or a body that carries out the digesting. Can this proof be properly falsified? This can be falsified if any Christian can render a single referral to reality of a consciousness that is immaterial. Otherwise, the Christian God is impossible and thus disproved. The second way to disprove the Christian God is to show that something that doesn't have a primary attribute doesn't exist. What is meant by primary attribute is that Christians define their God by what it can do, its character traits, or how it relates to other things, not by what it actually is. A primary attribute is the fundamental nature of that existence, what it is composed of. Something that is not composed of anything, like a supposedly immaterial God, doesn't exist and can't be said to have any secondary or relational attributes. This is because saying that something is not composed of anything is the same as saying it's nothing. That's because what we call quote-unquote nothing also is not composed of anything. Christians who say their God is immaterial are subsequently confirming that their God doesn't exist, because non-existence is composed of nothing by inherent definition. To exist is to do, and to do is a function that requires something that functions. Therefore, to not be composed of a material substance is to not have the ability to do. In other words, to be non-existent. Because the Christian God is said to be immaterial, it has no kinetic potentiality. Therefore, it can have no character traits or abilities such as being omnipotent or omniscient. It could also have no relational attributes such as being creator, absolute, or non-contingent. Can this proof be properly falsified? This can be falsified by any Christian who can give a single referral to reality of something that exists that's not composed of anything. And before one suggests that love exists, laws of logic exist, or math exists, one needs to point out that you would be confusing the conceptual with the concrete. Those aren't things that exist. They are the effects of existence.